Somewhere, someone's dream is coming true. Is it your dream? What does your dream life look like? Have you even thought about it? How do you write your success story? Christmas Eve, 2008. I sat on the floor of my bedroom, legs straight, propped up against the bed, a bottle of Jack Daniels in one hand, and a loaded 9mm in the other. I decided that day, that night, that I would take my life. What I thought about myself, what I thought others thought about me, was I wasn't valuable. I wasn't useful. What I felt inside was that I just floundered through life with no purpose, with no passion. Why am I even here? What I believed about myself was that I was indeed useless. So I decided to end it. It's one of the hardest decisions that I ever had to make. So what does your success story look like? I'm not a success story. I'm up here, but I'm not a success story. I battle every day. I battle negative thoughts. I battle obstacles just like you. We overcome adversity together. But I'm not a success story. I battle. In order to be successful, I had to hack into my brain. I didn't know exactly how to do that until later on when somebody thought that I was worth saving. Someone saw something in me that I didn't see. Someone believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. What my talk is going to be about is about how you can hack into your brain and rewire it, rewire your brain structure in order to be successful. It starts with what's in our brains. Now, you might remember Marge and Homer Simpson from the popular TV show The Simpsons, but I see some of you right now are pointing at your spouse. Don't point. I know that looks like your spouse's brain sometimes, but don't point. Repressed rage in Marge's brain and sex on the brain with Homer. In Marge's brain, she's got the supermarket mapped out, but in Homer's brain, he's got don't and sleep and donuts. You must first fix what's going on inside you before you can fix what's going on around you. You must first know what's in our brains and why you think, feel, and believe the things about the world that you do. Where does it all come from? Well, let's check out how you go grocery shopping. Who buys things on cost? A couple of you who buys things on cost? Well, familiarity. I mean, look at the branding. Mothers choose Jif. What a great slogan. Mothers choose Jif. What about Kix? Kids tested, mothers approved. Who wouldn't want to buy that cereal? Look at the way that you buy the fads. No GMO, MSG, gluten-free. I know people who will never go to a fast food restaurant. They make that choice. So how do you go grocery shopping? Have you ever thought about that? My family, we definitely buy things on cost, but we definitely have that one brand that we're always going to go to. We always have that familiarity, Jif. My grandmother made Jif peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So if we know what shapes our decisions, culture, familiarity with our brands, past experiences, similar situations that put us in, how do we make these decisions? Well, let's try a demonstration. Let's try a demonstration where, whether it be positive or negative, ignoring thoughts can be unproductive. They can be counterproductive. So let's do this. Everybody say, "Aww." I want you to look at the white bear. The cute and cuddly, beautiful looking bear. It's got his paws wrapped around the baby bear. We sometimes see the bears at the zoo on Discovery Channel. magazines. We see polar bears everywhere. So what I want you to do for the next minute is I want you to close your eyes, and we're not going to think about the white bear. So everybody right now, close your eyes. And I don't want you to think about the white bear. Don't think about any polar bears. Not even the cute, cuddly ones that you just saw up here. No polar bears. Don't think about the polar bears. Whatever you do, do not think about the polar bears. I'm not sure if I said that. Don't think about the polar bears. Not even polar bears at the zoo. I forgot to mention that. Not even polar bears at the zoo. Oh, and the Christmas bears that usually come around this time of year? Don't think about the Christmas bears, the Coca-Cola bears, or the Santa Claus bears. Whatever you do, don't think about a polar bear. Oh, and don't think about polar bears. I forgot to mention that. Don't think about polar bears. Cute, cuddly, with their black nose and beady eyes. Don't think about white polar bears or baby polar bears. Don't think about those either. Okay, now open your eyes. Were you successful in not thinking about a polar bear? Well, why? I said not to think about the polar bears. Why did you think about the polar bears? See, we do that to ourselves. We agonize over a breakup, a bad career move. Somebody did something wrong to us, so we think about these thoughts constantly, and they become consuming to us. But how do we get those thoughts out of our head? You see, Tony Robbins famously said, where focus goes, your energy will flow. What that means is that where you apply your attention, your energy will follow. You subconsciously apply energy to not thinking about those thoughts. And what ends up happening, you think about those thoughts and you agonize over those thoughts. Well, what does all this mean? It starts with acceptance. Acceptance. You know, we can't remove the pain that we inevitably will feel in life. We can't remove the loss, the grief, the hardships. We inevitably are going to go through those things in life. But what we can do is we can accept those thoughts that we have, whether it be positive or negative. What it's saying is that where positive energy goes, you will see the positives. If you focus on the negatives, then that's what you will see. You will see negatives. Who recently bought a car in the past 6 months? I bet you see that thing everywhere. But you never saw it before you bought it. But you see it now. Because you're choosing to focus on that. I see that car, I own that car, so now I see it everywhere. It's the same thing in every situation. Every negative thing that we come through, we're going to focus on it, and we'll only see negatives. Now, if you apply energy towards that positives, you will inevitably see the positives. You see, acceptance is not about blocking out those negative adversities that's going to come to us. Acceptance is about making meaning of those adversities. It's about making meaning out of every situation. I want you to think into every situation that you go through what's most important right now. What is most important right now about this situation? Every bad thing that happens to you, what's most important right now? You see, acceptance allows us to have those expectations of that moment, and then we make meaning of that and we grow. So let's look at the London cab driver research. This, by far, is the most fascinating research that I have ever seen. Eleanor Maguire and Catherine Woollett from the Neuroimaging College of London followed 79 cab drivers through a brutal 3 to 4 year process to become a cab driver. It takes 3 to 4 years to memorize all of the London streets because of their intricacies and how they intersect each other. It takes 3 to 4 years. And even then, the final test, which is called the Knowledge Examination of London, 12 times it takes to pass that test. And in this study, half of those 79 cab drivers didn't pass. So they followed 79 cab drivers through a 3 to 4 year process, and they took MRIs of their brains. And what they found from the 31 other controls, the big alarming factor was that they rewired their brain structure. They found a way through rigorous training that they could actually restructure their brain's nerve cells in the hippocampus. The hippocampus area of your brain is located on the cerebral cortex and is responsible for short and long-term memory. And what they found was that you can actually, with a rigorous, everyday habit, restructure your brain. Which begs the question, what habits do you need to break? What habits in your life do you need to break? Do you need to scale back some social media? Maybe not watch the news so much? Or do you need to read every day? You can actually rewire your brain's structure, your neuroplasticity, with a rigorous day-to-day habit. So maybe we have a habit of gratitude. Maybe adopt a mindfulness habit. So let's put it all together. How do we rewire our brains? Knowing what we think, feel, and believe about ourselves, and what we think, feel, and believe about the world, how are we going to rewire our brains? Adopt a habit. Every day, you're one step closer. Like I said, I'm not a success story. It took me 3 years to get on this stage. Every day, finding events. Every day, dreaming of this moment. So today, my dream has come true, that I made it to the TEDx stage. And for the past 3 years, I've agonized over this moment. And every day, I was one step closer to a yes. And I was one step closer to achieving my dream. So I want to thank you for sharing my dream with me. Thank you.